Good morning here, guys. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to Catfish Solution Academy. Yeah, today watching from the background again, you are watching our mentorship program on catfish hatchery and fries management. And presently, as you are watching from this video, we are producing a crossbreed of Claras line and Etrobancus, which people normally call hybridization. That means hybrid, which also we call it Heteroclaras. So that is what you are watching from the background. The importance and the difference between Claras and Heteroclaras is that they are crossbreed from a ruggedity Heterobancus. So there are a lot of Heterobancus you can use, but presently we are using the Heterobancus longiphilis. That's what we are using from this background as you are watching. And the advantage of this is that hetero fishes that grow very big, and it takes time to grow and they don't stop growing. And so if you by the way cross it with Claras, this will give you the hybrid. It will give you a faster growth rate. What I mean by that is that if hetero takes 6 weeks to kick off its growth, and you cross it with Claras that take 3 months for their growth, so this will hybridize it to like 4 months, and they start growing very great at that particular time. So that is the advantage, and because of that, they are highly rugged and they are highly resistant to diseases, which you have to take care of them. Not that because they say they are rugged and they are resistant to disease, that does not mean you should be careless about them. They will die. That's the truth. They will die because there is a friend of mine who normally proud that they are very rugged and resistant to disease, and they don't die. It takes time to die. So by the time we make mistake on congestion, all the fishes died off. So they died. So I produce it. By the time I produce it and maybe I mismanage them, they die. Not that they don't die, but the good thing about them is that they are a little bit rugged because they cluster. These are the advantages of them to me. That's their ruggedity. That little space you give them, they gather together, most especially when there's dark. They gather together, they move together, so they have more enough space. They manage the space that they are into. So that is what I can really say about them. But on this video today, I will be talking about a very short topic which I tagged the secret of crude protein in catfish feed. So that is what I will be talking about today. Catfish feed are feed given to fish, our normal fish, but the crude protein of it is what I'll be talking about today, because we normally grow or do the business so that we can earn profit. Earning profit really depends on how we feed them. So not every feed that you can give to your catfish. In order for you to make profit, you must understand the type of feed you have to give to them. Number 1, to minimize your cost. Number 2, to minimize your wastage. Number 3, to minimize your timing and to sell them to make profit. So that is why I'm tagging this video the secret of crude protein in fish feed. One of the major determinant of quality feed is the crude protein, as we do know. We have a lot of them. We have the crude protein, we have the energy source, we have the carbohydrate, all and all. But the most important and the most expensive is the crude protein. So, but there are 2 types of crude protein that you can constitute in a formulation, which are the animal protein and the plant protein. But in order for you to get a perfect result and to minimize your cost of production, you must complement both. Why? The animal protein is very expensive to get because they are animal source protein. why the plant protein are cheaper to lay your hands on. So for you to manage your cost, it is imperative and very, very important for you to mix them, to complement the plant protein with the animal protein. And this is how it works. Animal protein, because it is high and very, very expensive in the market. Why is it expensive? Because it has a lot of profile, that means amino acid profile, which has the constituencies to grow your fishes. Fishes don't just eat any kind of feed to grow. Fishes need some amino acid to grow. There's some profile that is instituted into the feed as a nutritional dietary in the feed that grows your fishes. So sometimes that is why you notice when you give some fishes some feed, maybe you observe them in 2 weeks and you have a weight of maybe 100 grams, and you give them some certain feed. In that same 2 weeks, you weigh them, they give you 500 grams. What really works in that feed is the amino acid, is the profile inside the feed. So if by the time you cost that feed that makes them to grow to gain 500 grams, you will notice it is expensive. Why is it expensive? It is expensive because they are using what we call the animal protein source is higher in the formulation. The plant protein source is very, very low. That means it's cheaper than the animal protein. But if you are ignorant, and maybe the animal protein are the likes of fish meal, the likes of chicken meal, meat meal, beauty waste, all those are animal protein. Those are the material gotten from animals. And the plant proteins are the likes of soya beans, the GNC and co. These are the material gotten from plant source. Let us cite an example. Maybe you are getting your fish meal for like 2,000 naira per kilo, and you are getting your soya meal for maybe 1,000 naira, and you want to run a formulation of 100 kilo. Running the 100 kilo, you introduce like 50% fish meal into a formulation, and this costs you 20,000 naira to finish the calculation, 100,000 naira to finish the calculation. And because you thought the fish meal is expensive and you can get more protein on soya if you add more soya to the formulation. For example, the formulation, you use 50 kg for fish meal into 100 kilo, and you are using 50 kilo again of soya into a formulation. By the time you do the computation, you will notice that the difference of the crude protein is just maybe you may be having like 10% of the difference. And because of that, you introduce more of soya beans to make it, you introduce more of like 10 kg into it to make it like 60 kilo. And by the time you do the calculation, you get a pile of crude protein. Maybe you get a pile of crude protein like 40 or 40, like 50% in your formulation. It will be piled, and you finish that formulation. I still bet you that by the time you introduce this feed for your fishes, they will not grow. The plant protein will not grow as the fish meal, as the fish source formulation. I hope you can understand this. Why? Simply because what is really growing your fishes out of those two formulations are your plant source. Presently I have two fish meal I'm marketing here in Nigeria as a foreign feed, which we have the Senegalese fish meal and we have the Morocco, which I do market. And I normally tell my clients the truth. If you are getting the Senegalese, it's cheaper than the Morocco. But if you are getting them, and maybe you are getting the Senegalese, it comes to like 2,000 naira per kilo. You are getting it, you are using it in your formulation. And you are getting the plant protein for like 1,000, you are using it in your formulation. There is nowhere you can compare and construct the value of the said protein with the one you are using a plant source for. So it is important for you to understand these two factors in order to grow your fishes. If you are still making mistakes of like you want to reduce your cost and you are giving your fishes more of the animal protein source, you are still not getting it right. So the secret involved in you doing this is that you need to work more on your plant protein source to gain that amino acid profile to grow your fishes. The fishes that may take 4 months to eat 1 kilo, if you don't have those amino acid balanced, at least we have the list of 20 that will grow your fishes. If you don't have it balanced, you may not eat 1 kilo in 4 months. If you are using a plant source, this may take 5 months. But if you are using that, this may take you 4 months to sell your fishes up. And again, if you calculate the amino acid inside the plant protein, maybe you are having like 6 amino acid inside the plant protein and you are having a 20 inside the animal protein. There is no way you can complement this, that 16 different amino acid, with the richness and the expenses of your animal protein. So the secret involved in this is for you to understand your concentration and understand the level of the amino acid that you need to grow your fishes. I think this will be well understood by those of us who are into feed production, and will be much well understood by those of us who are listening here and can easily digest and construct information. So these are the secrets to crude protein in fish feed. If you still need more, or you really want to know more of this information, make sure that you get our upgraded book on catfish feed formulation. And again, you can get the secret of a successful catfish farming, which is presently upgraded. They are upgraded and detailed information. For those of you who have really gotten it before, because life is being upgraded, even God upgrades life on a daily basis. So if you have to be upgraded on information. So if you have not gotten our book, new books, upgraded copies of our feed formulation and the secret of your successful catfish farming, and the catfish calculation of the feeding chart, make sure you order for your upgraded copy now. You'll be seeing the upgraded copy on the background of this video. Make sure that you get it now. So I'll be signing off from this video today, and I will try to do a one-on-one practical demonstration on this we talked about, for those of us who don't really understand. Or I may even take you to the factory and do the formulations, and you see the way it happens. Or I will have to sit down and do the analysis for you for proper understanding. So at this point, my name once again is Streamer Torres. I'll be your great uncle on this channel. Thank you, and God bless you all.